On this episode of Slash N Thrash, we travel to the Amazon to witness the bloody cannibalistic horror that is 2013's Green Inferno. Let Season 3 begin. Welcome to Slash N Thrash, your place for all things horror, metal, and all the entertainment we love. 2013's Green Inferno, written and directed by Eli Roth, follows our main character Justine and a radical group of activists as they travel to the Amazon to prevent deforestation and the killing of the tribes that live there. This activist group takes drastic steps like chaining themselves to trees no matter the consequences, and they upload this footage to the internet. They upload it to raise awareness of the situation and the cause that they're after. Everything seems to go their way until their plane crashes and they're left stranded in the middle of the Amazon. Soon enough, the tribe finds them and takes them back to their village. They are put inside the bamboo cage, and one by one, the activists are picked off and eaten by the tribe. So the game now isn't just to escape, it is to survive the longest. Who will survive and what will be left of them? Now, let's take a look at some of the positives of this film. Quite honestly, I enjoyed just about everything that was in this movie. The practical effects in this film look legitimately real. There's a scene where this guy's eyes and his tongue are ripped out of his body and eaten by the tribe while he just squirms around. And then this primitive tribe takes what looks like the femur bone, and they made it into a knife and they start cutting this guy's arms and legs and everything off, all until they finally rip his head off, and then they feast on his corpse. That single-handedly had to be one of the most gore-soaked scenes I have seen in quite a long time. As you may know, a lot of horror films these days are quite tame compared to some of the gorier movies that have come out. Not this film, though. This film goes in all the way. It goes that extra mile, and it really ramps up the blood. This is a straight-up grade A horror film. It pulls all the punches, and it's just a wholesome, all well put together film. Even the acting in this movie is quite good. I mean, to pass that illusion that this isn't just a movie, that you're actually watching this cannibalistic act, you have to have good actors and actresses in order to make that actually seem real, and they do in this movie. I think this film brings a modern twist to the classic cannibalistic movies that this is trying to be like. Plus, if you're anything like me, the ending would leave you with mixed feelings, a whole mixed bag of feelings. But I'll talk about that in the spoiler section. One bad transition later. Now, these aren't exactly negatives, but they're just things that I guess I'm just nitpicking at, because there's not much, wrong with this movie. But if I had to say anything, this is what they would be. And in case you are a stickler for spoilers, well, this is your warning right now. Spoilers ahead. Now, I don't know how to touch this subject lightly. Let's just say I was very uncomfortable with the genital mutilation scene. Now, I'm not a traveler, but from things I've heard, it may be standard practice in other countries or other places of the world or whatever. But here in the States, we frown upon something like that. If you were to do that to a woman, we don't do that to our women, and yeah, I guess that's why it could be used in a horror movie. It's just very sickening and uncomfortable to watch. Now, I'm not going to explain everything about that scene. You'll just have to watch the movie for yourself and see. And it's not what you think, but it's the fact that it's what it makes you think, and the way that it was shot. It's a very intense scene, so that's just a little nitpick I have, but I guess, uncomfortable being uncomfortable is, supposed to be in horror films, so yeah. Moving on. Something I didn't understand about this film, I don't know what Eli Roth was trying to convey here with the ending, but here we go. So eventually, our main character, Justine, escapes and is found by the same people that were taking out the tribes in the first place, that were, the deforestation team, like those workers. Now they're a small militia that have pretty much taken out this entire tribe, and everyone's running through the woods, and they get to this field, and Justine, puts her arms up, and she's like, I'm an American, I'm an American. So they figure it out, and, she makes it back to the States. Then we go to a scene where she's having an interview with what looks like lawyers and government people, and instead of letting them know the absolute truth like a sane person would, she actually takes up for this tribe and says that they helped her escape, and that everybody died on impact in the plane crash. She was the only survivor. This tribe actually helped her survive throughout this whole time. Now, my question is, what the hell? If it were me, I would have to have told the truth in this situation, no matter how harsh the consequences were, or no matter how harsh the truth is. It's still the truth compared to a candy-coated lie. On the other hand, I guess I understand that telling the truth in this situation wouldn't really be helping anyone. You see, if she told the truth, the surviving members of the tribe would be all killed. So in that case, she kind of still stayed true to her group's intentions for going to the Amazon in the first place. And after all, that is their habitat. As well as telling the surviving family members of the people who were eaten that their loved ones were eaten. I'm sure even you could relate to this. I could relate to this. I wouldn't want to be told that one of my loved ones was eaten by a bunch of cannibals. That's way too harsh. So the fact that she said that they just died on impact in the crash, and, you could just imagine, their bodies burned to ash. There's no evidence of that. So, that's not really helping anybody anyway, so I can see why she said this. This is one of those bittersweet endings in a horror movie I hate to agree with, but in the end, it kind of makes sense. It's almost like a life lesson or a different point of view that you couldn't see before, but now you see, and now it makes total sense. Anyway, this was truly a disturbing and messed up horror film, but those are some of my favorite, absolute favorite horror films, because that's what this genre is all about. I'm going to have to give this film a 4 out of 5 stars. It was truly a great movie, and you should all go watch it right now. Well, that's it for today, friends. That's all I got you. I hope you enjoyed my take on Green Inferno. If you did, feel free to push like. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and push that notification bell to get notified for when I make more videos of horror movies. Until next time, keep slashing, horror freaks.